Hi, this is Dana with Dana Meyer Consulting, and I'm here today to talk about meetings. Now, don't run away because I'm here to actually help you have more effective and hopefully fewer meetings because you're being more productive in the meetings that you're having. Now, I don't know about you, but I know from personal experience, I've sat in many meetings where I stop myself midway going, haven't we had this conversation before? And are we talking about this again? I feel like I'm in a really bad episode of Groundhog Day. So I'm sure that that has occurred to you occasionally, if not frequently. And one of the solutions that can really help you avoid having what I call Groundhog Day meetings is to come up with a better discipline in the way you have meetings. Now, I know it sounds like a little bit more work at the beginning, but what you'll find is that it becomes a new normal for you, and you just bake this into how you have every meeting. The result is you'll have fewer meetings. You could probably even shorten the amount of time it takes you to have a meeting because you're more focused and you're taking more action. So here are some steps that you can follow. One is have an agenda. And it doesn't need to be complex, but it, at a basic level, needs to say, why are we here? What do we need to accomplish? And what are the next steps going to be? So you also want to make sure that you have someone who's leading the meeting. And if the conversation starts to get off track, make a note of what that topic is for further discussion and bring everyone back on topic, reminding everyone why we're here today. And if another meeting needs to be scheduled, taking that offline. The other thing to do in your meetings is to also make sure that all the different people sitting around the table or in the conference room have an opportunity to share their thoughts. Now, this is probably more information for another video, but lots of different people have different communication styles, and sometimes certain personalities will dominate conversations. And what happens is that there are other points of view and other really good ideas that are not being incorporated into the discussion. So by having someone facilitate the conversation, it's an opportunity to make sure that everyone is chiming in with their ideas, their points of view, so that you're not missing any of the pieces. The third thing I'd recommend is at the end of every meeting to kind of wrap up with what the key decision points were and to also talk about next steps. Now let's talk about next steps. I think it's also important because I've seen in meetings like, yeah, we'll capture next steps, but be specific. Who is going to do what by when, and do they have any resources or support that they need in order to make that happen? So just jotting those down very quickly so that everyone sees it is the right way to end every meeting. Now, icing on the cake, and I highly recommend this because it holds people accountable, is to have someone, whether it was the person leading the meeting, perhaps someone maybe that was taking notes in the meeting, or an assistant who can type up like whatever those final next steps were and email them back out to the group, because then what you can do is your next meeting you can actually start with a status on the next steps from the last meeting. So you see that when you're having more focused meetings, you can actually make sure that whatever it is you agreed upon in the room is going to get done. Now, one of the things that I would recommend you think about is if you're not incorporating an agenda, if you're not incorporating next steps, why? So what I find with many of my clients is that you have different types of people that like to, they're more innovative, idea generators, and then you have people that like to take an idea and refine it. Then you have people that are more implementers, they're the ones that are going to get it done, and the people that help you to stay on track. So depending upon who's running the meeting, they'll tend to keep the conversation in the zone that they're most comfortable with. And it's important to make sure that you're balancing the types of discussions that you're having. So in any meeting, if you need to have brainstorming, do that early on, kind of narrow it down to the ideas that you're going to elaborate on, and then finalizing with next steps. So again, I hope you found this helpful. It's a really simple idea, but for as many meetings as I know are going on out there on a daily, if not hourly basis, get the return on your investment. Implement some simple agenda structure and some next steps, and I guarantee not only will your team appreciate it, but your business's bottom line is going to appreciate it. So with that, signing off, it's Dana. Have a great day.